you're gonna serve your country.
Mandatory Fun Day is the online handle of a social media influencer who caters to a specific audience.
Okay, well, at least I'll, meet a lot of great people. Now, a lot of the people are mid.
He's an active duty lieutenant in the United States Army. He's also what's called a Mustang officer because he served as an enlisted soldier first.
Overall, I think I'm having a really positive impact on people. I get messages daily at this point on every single platform of people telling me that I make them happy, I make them smile, I make them laugh, I make them miss the military, which I think is funny.
The videos Mandatory Fun Day creates poke fun at a range of topics to which most military families can relate.
We're gonna put a bunch of support facilities on base with you, like finance offices and different resources for families and whatnot. Great. Yeah, nice. I mean, that would be super useful for troops. They're all gonna close at 1700. They're gonna close at 1700. No, we get off at 1700. We need them to be open.
The LT says he first started making the videos because he wanted to have some fun and share his experiences in the Army. But as it turns out, those funny videos are leading to real changes.
I've gotten messages from many senior leaders too at this point in every branch of service, and even some people in other NATO militaries telling me that they're implementing new policy or a new way of doing things based on some of the videos that I've created. It's been really cool because there's a disconnect between senior leadership and junior guys, right? And I feel like I'm bridging that gap a little bit.
The videos Mandatory Fun Day creates, as well as the impact they have, are a sort of microcosm of a much larger effort within the military. Senior leadership listening to junior enlisted on ways to improve military life. During the opening ceremonies of the Navy League's Sea Airspace 2023 exhibition in National Harbor, Maryland, the top officers from the Navy, Marine Corps, and Coast Guard all talked about the immediate need to invest in people.
Our Navy and Marine Corps are more than just advanced platforms and weapon systems. Our people remain our greatest strength and are at the heart of everything that we do.
If we don't make the investments in the people, the aircraft won't operate, the ships won't be able to maneuver.
If we ask them what's important to them, it's not all that complicated. They live somewhere, the barracks or their family housing, and they get up and they work out in the morning, fitness centers. And then they go home, and if they have kids, they're gonna need to find a place to watch their kids during the day, child development centers. All these are things that some people call quality of life, but for us, I think they are the centerpiece, they're the focus, and we must invest in that now.
To be clear, the government is making investments toward improving the quality of life for military members, but it may not be enough. Included in the fiscal year 2023 omnibus bill was a provision to set aside more than $17 billion to help restore and improve on-base facilities. Another $2 billion went to improve privatized housing. The most recent National Defense Authorization Act also increased pay by 4.6% for military members and civilians serving in the Department of Defense. At the same time, though, a new study showed around 1 in 4 military members went through some form of food insecurity recently. There's a growing number of military families qualifying for SNAP benefits, also called food stamps. And just like in the civilian world, access to affordable childcare can be a struggle.
We got to adjust our pay or the basic allowance for subsistence, the food allowances, so that we can get our junior enlisted and all the way through our mid-level enlisted, and particularly those who are married with kids, and adjust our pay so they're not qualifying for SNAP.
Retired Air Force General and current Congressman Don Bacon is leading a new House subcommittee focused on quality of life for military members.
We have housing that's fallen behind. We have medical care that's being hollowed out a little bit at a time. We have families on long waiting lists to get on the daycare. And so we have spouses who can't get jobs because we move them too often. So I wanted to look at this holistically, say we could do so much better for quality of life.
Congressman Bacon says improving the quality of life in the military will also make it easier to get new members to sign up. In 2022, every service branch except for the Space Force missed its recruiting goals. 2023 isn't looking much better.
There's going to be something in the House that won't be Republican versus Democrat. It's going to be Americans, patriotic Americans, trying to solve a problem for patriotic Americans.
Patriotic Americans like the Mustang LT behind mandatory fun day. The LT says he's not surprised there's a House subcommittee on improving quality of life in the military. For him, it's proof of what the Army teaches in its official doctrine. Good leaders listen.
I think the Army and the military in general does a fairly good job of trying to meet people halfway, if that makes sense.
But while they may be listening, don't put it past some folks to still poke fun every now and then.
What is the military going to give me? It's going to give you is an empty place in your soul after you get out. And despite the fact that you hated so much of it, you're going to miss it more than you've missed anything in your life. Oh God, he's right.
Congressman Don Bacon's Subcommittee on Improving Quality of Life will meet twice a week for 8 months, starting in June. From there, the committee will offer up its recommendations to be included in future legislation. For more stories about our nation's military, be sure to check out our unbiased, straight-fact reporting at straightarrownews.com.
Thanks for watching. We know that Americans' trust in media is near an all-time low. That is why Straight Arrow News is on a mission to bring you unbiased, fact-based reporting. To make sure that you get the journalism that you trust, like and subscribe to Straight Arrow News below. And to catch all of our content, go to our website, straightarrownews.com.